being white in hip hop is a very interesting place to be, because when I make comments that people disagree with, like, for example, I made some comments about Taraji P. Henson, where I said, listen, I don't understand why she's complaining about not getting paid what she feels she deserves when she could be making her own projects.
Mm.
And an army of people responded with, you shouldn't be allowed to talk about Black people's business. Go talk about your own people. Like, that's always the first knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
Which obviously makes no sense.
What if you said it back?
What do you mean?
What if you reversed it?
Right, and I have mentioned this in interviews. So the reverse is, well, then if you're Black, you shouldn't be allowed to talk about white people.
Ooh, you finna get canceled.
Right. Which means that you can't actually talk about me.
Say with Dr. Umar Johnson what he said about Eminem, reverse that and see what happens.
Oh, yeah, no, we talked about this. And, Umar's responded to me. He's called me an agent and, whatever else. And my thing is like, you've been talking about building the school now 7 years ago in my interview, and even earlier than that, you still haven't built it. You asking me how many schools I built. You haven't built a school that's open either. And I haven't been taking money from people for the last decade about it. You know what I'm saying? And the argument of you can't be the best something if another race invented that genre is a little bit silly, because who's the best golfer of all time?
Tiger Woods.
Black.
Best basketball player.
Michael Jordan or LeBron, depending on who you talk to.
I don't even think there's a white guy that's top 5. I don't think Larry Bird's top 5 in basketball. So it's like, when you want to say stupid shit like that, I feel like this. Don't be surprised or don't get mad when you find the opposite of what you're saying. I'm not going to say it because I don't believe it. But there's people that feel just like you. They just look like me. They feel the same way you feel. It's just reversed. I don't agree with either perspective. So don't throw me in the mix with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, look, there have been, to counter his point, and listen, Umar knows how to trigger people. He's good at it. I get it. But at the end of the day, you could find thousands of examples of someone coming from a different culture and becoming a top person in a culture that they did not grow up in. There have been, and I actually looked this up this morning, there have been grand champions in Japanese sumo that were like Hawaiian or Samoan. They came in, they followed the rules, they became the top guys in their fields, and they were celebrated by the whole culture. They probably don't even speak Japanese, but they came in that sport, and it's a very traditional Japanese-only, cliquish type thing, but they came in and did what they did. Eminem came in, and I think if you talk to most real hip-hop fans, they would put Eminem in the top 5 or their top 10 or whatever else.
Hell yeah.
And apart from Tom Brady, all the best football players are Black. When you look at the top 10 of football, yes, Tom Brady is number 1. You got to give him that, right? But then after that, everyone's Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Jerry Rice,
boxers too. You look at the boxers.
Yeah, these were all sports that were launched by white people or so forth. But the best people ended up dominating the sport, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And but you'll get a lot more views polarizing people as opposed to kind of bringing them together.
Of course.
And it just is what it is. And Umar, when you actually open your school, I'll do an interview at that school. You can make me eat my words. But up until this point, you've been begging people for money for a decade now for a school that still hasn't opened. So don't talk about, well, how many schools has Vlad opened? Because I haven't been taking people's money. You know what I'm saying?